morning. I wasn't gonna post a video today. I don't want to do it like daily, like I was when I was getting a year clean. But I felt compelled to. I'm on the freeway, and I see, two police officers talking to some dude who's walking alongside the freeway. And him and I, for that split second, made eye contact, and I could just, for that split second, see that pain. I know that pain. I know that look. I don't want to assume that he was on the freeway because he was done, but there are plenty of other places to walk than alongside the freeway, and it didn't look like he had a car that had broken down. So I can only imagine what the plan was, and I'm so grateful if that's the case. And assuming that's the case is terrible to assume, but if that's the case, that he was intervened, and they'll get him off the freeway. I know what it's like to imagine wanting to get on the freeway and walk across of it. The easiest way to go. It's one of them. I've heard other stories of people calling the police and then pretending they have a gun and pulling it. I've heard some terrible stories of ways to get rid of yourself if you don't want to do it on your own. My heart goes out to that person. Even if they're not trying to do that, my heart goes out to that person, because that pain was... And I may not know exactly what that pain that person's dealing with, but I know what it's like to want to do that. I've imagined doing that in my car, fantasized about it, obsessed over it, actually. Day in and day out, driving to work, just wondering, like, what would be the easiest way to go without hurting anybody. So my heart goes out to that person, even if it's just pain and they're just trying to get away from the city or whatever. I also have been in my head all day, all morning, and I thought about something. I can't really, I can't control people, places, and things. And I shouldn't assume anything. But I do know this. When I don't get my way, or things aren't going quite how I expected, or whatever, communication may stop. That's exactly what's supposed to be happening. Everything happens exactly the way it's supposed to be happening, and I have to remember that. Unmanageability is created when it's my will instead of my higher powers, instead of God's will. Yesterday was about healthy relationships, and the relationships that I have that are healthy, and what I bring to the table in terms of every relationship that's been messed up is probably a product of my unhealthiness or lies or any of that. But today, I thought about it was good that I went into the gym, and I got to exert some of that out. I got to speak to somebody I haven't spoken to in a long time, and they're going through some things. They live in another state, and it was cool. They got, multiple years clean, and it was cool to hear how they worked through a parent and a brother dying, and that was cool to catch up. And that was a meeting that I ran away to when I relapsed, and then I ran away after I relapsed again. And it's cool that I have people in my phone that I can just, if I see a Facebook post or something and I see them struggling, I can reach out and say, hey, how are you? It's cool that I do have friends that even if I haven't talked to in a long time, I can reach back out and say hello. That's pretty cool. Tomorrow's my big hike, and I need it. I need it. all the shit that I've been watching on my phone, all the obsessing I've been doing about other shit are going around and around the world, all the shit that's going on in my life. It would be nice to get out into an area where there's no cell phone service. I'll record a couple videos while I'm out there, post my recovery, and then continue to move forward. I also thought about this too. Somebody had asked me, why do you post all that stuff? What is your point? And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. The idea behind it is that I post my recovery and how I go, like my things that I'm doing. And then somebody hears it or reads it or watches it, whatever it is that I post music too. And then for that day or that hour or however long, it helps them not pick up, or it helps them just get through the next minute or whatever. And then they, if they are like me and they use, or used to use, or they walk into a meeting, and then that meeting motivates them to get better. And then they go into it the next day, and the next day, and the next day. And then 6 months later, or a year later, however long it is, maybe they picked up some time, and they finally can see their kids, or they talk to their dad, or their mom, or whoever it is that they haven't talked to because of it. And they forget all about that post or that video that I've done. And then all of a sudden, one day, they do something similar. And that does something for somebody else. And then, get behind the gates and I meet them. That's the only time I meet them. I don't sit and look and see what comments were made on my shit. I have this thing called YouTube Studio, so it'll tell me if there were comments made. So I'm not sitting there looking to see how many people looked at my shit or any of that. I just post this shit, and whatever's in my head, I post it. Not worrying about like if people are going to take it personally or not, because this is like my inventory. What's going on with me? What's going on in my head? And how I'm getting through it. It's helping me. It helps me. I have a really good friend of mine, somebody I'm really close to, I think, that convinced me to continue doing this. And so I'm going to continue doing this, but I won't do it like daily, even though yesterday happened and today happened. I'll post as needed. Got a lot of things coming up that are. And a lot of thoughts that, like, I'm going to start getting this stuff early. Like, I'm going to get the costumes this month. I'll get the birthday presents next month. And then I'll start working on Christmas presents early. I think that'd be kind of cool. If I had to jump on Christmas in November, in October, then I won't be so stressed out in December. Then when I'm getting to, and if I could even start wrapping shit in November, that'd be fucking legit. And so that's kind of the game plan. That's the game plan. And then it'll just be smooth sailing all the way through holidays. I never thought of doing that before. I always just wait till like I get paid in December and then just try to figure it out. Not doing that this time. So that's the goal. It starts now. And I'll start doing it now. And I think if I get all of my Halloween costumes now, I can start shopping for Christmas and birthday presents then. And if I just shop for Christmas and birthday presents all at the same time, then I can just pull shit aside for birthday presents. And it's like, if I'm done in November for Christmas shopping, I'll be happy. Or at the back end of October even. That'd be fucking legit. So I feel like I can do that. Yeah. Need a big day today. I'm not going to sit here and obsess today. Calling myself out. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. The courage to change the things that I can. The wisdom to know the difference. Lately, well, the last couple of weeks specifically, that's really helped me get through shit. Like, really helped me get through shit. It helped me get through what happened in the media, somebody dying. It helped me get through what happened throughout all that. It helped me get through all the shit that I'm watching. My algorithm is getting back to normal, which is great, because it was bad. And we control that, don't we? We control what pops up on our algorithm as we're watching reels. If you watch reels, I get to control if I want to watch propaganda and paranoia and death and mayhem, and I can bring that into my household. I can bring it into my bedroom, or I can control that and change it to food, shark attacks every once in a while, freaking kimono dragons here and there, and cool workout exercises and eating healthy. If I wanted to, in the next hour, that could be all that pops up. That's up to me. Or I could be stuck on what happened in 1985, in 1948, like I have been. It's just crazy to me. So, how much unmanageability do I want in my life due to chaos that I can't control? Is the real question. And I will say, no, never mind. I'll leave it at that. So, that's all I got. Have a good day. Happy Friday. I hope whatever you do for a living, you kill it. And even if you're not doing something for a living, maybe you're at home and you're taking care of the kids, I hope you kill that. Kill it. Not the kids. And you own today. Seize today. Carpe diem. That doesn't mean fucking explosions and fucking boat rides and fucking cave diving. It could be that I made my bed, that I didn't get loaded, I made a meeting, worked a couple questions out of the step work guide, and shared what's going on with me. If that's something that you never do, and you're kind of paralyzed at home, isolating, and you're sitting there not wanting to look at yourself in the mirror, and you're looking down, and you're just telling yourself how terrible you are, do something different. It's amazing how if you keep doing that over and over again, you'll slowly stop doing that. Give it a try. Get that try to a point of do, and get that do to a point of routine. Get to a point of where, like, instead of saying what's the point, saying what's next. I can relate to what's the point. I can relate to the fuck it. I can relate to not wanting to leave my bedroom. I can relate to being scared to get outside the house. Scared to go shopping for groceries. Scared to get in my car, scrolling through my social media to see if they're talking about me. And then assuming with whatever somebody's saying when they laugh, they're laughing at me. I can relate to all of that. I can relate to forgetting to eat, or not wanting to eat because I got loaded and now I've not slept, not eaten. I forgot to drink water, and I feel like my body feels completely destroyed, and my brain is just telling me that you might as well continue to do this because you've already gone in. I can relate to that. I can also relate to saying, hey, I need help, and making the calls, setting it up, telling the people that are close to me, this is what I'm doing, hearing them say, what's the fucking point, you know, what's going to change, and feeling that guilt and shame because of it, but still pushing forward, and then getting a day and 2 days and 5 days and 10 days and 20 days and a year and 20 days, which is 2 days. You're not alone. I wasn't alone. But sometimes it takes us to surrender and then look up and say, I don't know, but I need it. I need help. Help. And then just trusting that I have nothing left to lose. And I'm about to lose the rest of everything. And if you don't feel like you have anything to be grateful for, I can relate to that too. I can remember somebody saying, what are you grateful for? And I'm grateful. Like a second treatment center, then a treatment center in another state, this state, I'm here again. If like a job hates me, they laugh at me. My kids don't want anything to do with me. What the fuck should I be grateful for? And they looked at me and said, how about you're not on fucking fire, and start from there. And me thinking for like an hour of that statement, saying, how about I can breathe? How about I have my fingers? Looking over, seeing a guy with no arms. How about I have my arms? How about I'm not high right now? Or how about like I want to get clean? Like at least I have the desire to want to get clean. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop using. And the only promise of Narcotics Anonymous is that it will, if worked the way they say, the way the suggestions say, that it will help release the desire to stop using. That is the only promise of Narcotics Anonymous, by the way. It doesn't promise you riches. It doesn't promise you relationships. It doesn't promise you any of that. It just promises you that if you do these things over and over again, that's suggested, the meetings, the sponsor, service work, the home group, all of that, that it will lift that desire to want to use drugs and alcohol. It's the only promise. And then if you do all that stuff, I promise you, more will happen for you. That's all I got. I'm out. Have a good day.